in God's name did we experience on night 2 of WrestleMania? What's going on, everybody? This is NC, the place to be. Channel Mr. Andy, back to give you guys part 2 of WrestleMania 36. Too big for just one night. And last night for part 1, we had prime time. But now tonight we have the man, the myth, the reality. Q Flow the rookie.
What's going on, everybody? We are here.
We are here, and like I said, I'm sorry you couldn't make last night. I know you was a little depressed after the Goldberg thing, but
brother, I was sleepy. All right, don't do that.
No, but you know, what I'm saying, WrestleMania has been both nights have been ending at a reasonable time. So this is night 2, and real quick, overall, what was your opinion of night 2?
It wasn't bad, honestly. It might have beat night 1 for me. It might have been better than night 1.
It came close, because I'm gonna say something. Because night 2, I agree with you. I actually enjoyed night 2. There were some throwaway matches. There were some things that I did not like, and there's something I will point out. And obviously, look, I'm not going to keep being a broken record. I get it. There's no audience. This is not WrestleMania. I know. It hurts me too. But right now, we are in a situation that we cannot control, and we can only hope to get better. The negativity is what keeps this thing down. I got you try positive. Once again, WWE does some shit that I don't like. I'm going to make it a point. But I'm just saying that we gotta be positive. To look forward to the future. I know there's no fans, so I gotta take what I can get. Okay, so
man, go with what we got.
I mean, y'all already heard me talk about no fans last in part 1, so I ain't gotta say that again. So now we are at part 2, and this right here was a very interesting part. So we start off part 2 with the NXT Championship. Rhea Ripley.
Women's
Championship. Rhea Ripley.
I forgot they did take the women's off. But
no, they put it back on now.
Oh, okay.
Rhea Ripley taking on Charlotte Flair. Charlotte comes out to the ring first. Rhea comes out to the ring. Both looking great. Good matchup.
Rhea, her outfit was Vegeta.
Ooh, that's what that was.
I didn't know that until somebody told me it was like Vegeta was trending on Twitter, and it was because of Rhea Ripley.
Got you. I got you. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, it was a sick outfit and everything. The match, Rhea tried to go for a boot, and Charlotte gives her kind of like a dragon screw on over the top rope. And throughout the whole match, Rhea is selling this leg like death. Like, the screaming that's coming out her. Like, she is making it very convincing that her leg or her knee is dislocated. There was one chop block that Charlotte did that looked like it really like disjointed her knee. And I was just like, ooh, that looks like Rhea tries to come back with the fight. She tried to use her good knee. She hits a missile drop kick on Charlotte, but Charlotte keeps working back at the leg. And when I seen Charlotte work at the leg, I was just like, this is the way the Oscar match should have went at WrestleMania 34. With the constant focus on the leg, so that when she does do the figure 8, it's an understandable reason why she taps out. But however, I thought that they was really about to build Rhea Ripley. It wasn't about, honest to God, it was not about fantasy. It was about Rhea Ripley being the young up-and-coming NXT champion. I thought that Charlotte, being a 10-time champion already, was going to do the job. But that necessarily was not the case, as Charlotte puts on. Of course, Rhea Ripley does do her standing cloverleaf, which Charlotte does get out of.
Which looks like it hurts.
It does. I love that standing cloverleaf, the way she does it. And then her finish move was what called the Nightmare Attack.
I think so.
Yeah,
something
something like that. But then Charlotte kicks out of that. But Charlotte puts her on the figure 4. She's screaming and hollering, and as soon as she hits that bridge, the figure 8. Rhea has nowhere else to go. Rhea Ripley taps out, and Charlotte is your new 3-time NXT Women's Champion. I was disappointed that Rhea lost, And
I was too.
I was disappointed that she tapped out. That kind of bothered me a little bit, but it wasn't enough to affect the match. I thought up until this point, this was the best women's match on the show. I'm talking about including part one.
No, I agree with that. I'll tell you what though, them flare chops sound worse when there's no crowd.
When there ain't no crowd, I hear all the skin peeling off your chest.
I said, God, chop the hell out of her, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I wasn't disappointed with the match. I was just disappointed with the loss because I didn't want Charlotte to win.
I get that, Church. I do understand that, but she picked up the victory here. Still a good match. I thought it surpassed.
Because honestly, this feels like a step down. Because now you're back in NXT. Like, I get it. NXT is the better show, but it's still the minor leagues. If we're comparing it.
Well, I mean, it'll be fresh opponents for Charlotte to face and stuff like that. But we gotta see how it goes, especially with the tapings coming up and everything like that. So that was that. Like I said, I thought it surpassed Baszler and Becky, definitely. So
by a long shot.
Yeah.
That match was ass.
Next up on the list for night 2, we had, what was it? Bobby Lashley. I'm lying. Wait, which one? Make sure. Let me get my list out so I can give you guys.
No.
Look, I have the list already. Concurrent list. What came up first? Okay, I was right. Yeah, Aleister Black taking on Bobby Lashley. Aleister Black's robe was sick. Don't get me wrong.
It was.
That whole demon thing was sick. Lashley with tights on. Didn't see that coming. But I was but once again, yeah, Lana did look good though. But once again, this match got no heat. It has nothing going for it. I don't know why they're fighting. There has been no build. Bobby has not been there for the whole build at all. He's been in quarantine. So now this match comes out of nowhere, and it was like Bobby Lashley was getting the upper hand, gives a belly to belly outside. To Aleister Black, he shows the dominance, but then he's about to go for the Dominator. Lana's like, no, spear him. I'm like, why? The Dominator is Bobby Lashley's finishing move, and it's the original finishing move that Bobby Lashley used to do. So he puts it down, going for the spear, black mask out of nowhere, and Aleister Black wins the matchup.
He kicked Black off that brother.
He did. He was just like, wait, he woke up light skinned. So I was just like, wow. I mean, like I said, it wasn't nothing really noteworthy because there was no heat behind it. So I really much didn't care too much. How about you?
I didn't really care for the match. Good job on Aleister getting a Mania win though. Start putting him in a title picture.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, wish it was in front of a crowd, obviously, but still. But next matchup, what I was looking forward to on day 2, and that was Otis taking on Dolph Ziggler. Now, you already know how hype I am because Dolph's my homie, and he gets his first singles match in WrestleMania history against Otis. So, I've seen Otis have good one-on-one matches before. I've seen it with Tommaso Ciampa in NXT. It's possible. Dolph comes out with Sonya Deville. I was like, that's odd. I didn't think Dolph would come out with Sonya Deville, but okay. For storyline purposes, I guess. So, the match, pretty simple. He starts to super kicks Otis onto the outside of the ring. Otis does get the comeback, starts slamming Dolph and overpowering him, but then as he goes for the isolated compactor, Sonya Deville gets up on the apron. She distracts Otis, and Dolph Ziggler gives him a low blow. And as that happens, Mandy Rose music playing, and oh my God, let's just touch the blessing on how sweet Mandy Rose looked tonight. And cheers. And then she comes out. She comes out to the ring, and then Sonya's just like, "Hey, I'm so," and slaps the hell out of Sonya Deville, beats her down. Then she tries to go distract Dolph, and Dolph's like, "What are you doing here? You're ruining everything." And then the referee is look trying to check on Sonya, and she low blows Dolph, and then Dolph gets the caterpillar, which JBL, I'm telling you, JBL had me dying this whole match. JBL, what he called that the inebriated, huh? Oh yeah, he said afterward. But when he was doing the caterpillar, he was like, yo, he like an inebriated Tyrannosaurus or Triceratops, whatever he said. I was dying. Then when he said somebody called Peter, I was rolling. I was really in my house just dying. But Otis pins Dolph Ziggler. Mandy Rose gets in the ring. I'm like, come on. And he picks up Mandy Rose, and Mandy Rose give him the kiss. And I was just like, they did it. They completed the story from frontward to backward, and it's done. Otis gets the girl at the end. Oh, it would have been so sweet having like 70,000
good in front of a crowd.
70,000 people just cheering for that man. Like, yeah, he got the WrestleMania moment. And I'm like, I'm glad Dolph could be part of WrestleMania moment in the singles match. I was like, but it was a good story. It was built for months and everything. I was like, man, that was good. And I felt good for Otis. Don't know where it's going after this. I don't care. It got its WrestleMania moment. So,
right.
That's how I felt about it. Your thoughts on the match?
Pretty good match. These two solid wrestlers. And my man Otis got his moment, and I got my points. So
you got heavy machinery?
Yeah.
Oh wow, did not know that. I did not know that at all. But yeah, and you man got, like I said, he got Mandy. So here goes one of the anticipated matches, and that is the last.
I'm not listening. Greatest last man standing match that I ever seen.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, well, we about to get into it.
That I've ever seen.
Yes,
I haven't seen the last. I can't even tell you the last man standing match I've seen.
Gotcha. So we about to get into it because we got Edge against Randy Orton. Man, I'm telling you something. The rivalry, the heat between these two, great story going up into it. So Edge comes out with the smoke, doesn't get the fireworks, unfortunately. It comes out. Edge is ready. So we hear Randy Orton's music. I'm like, all right. The only thing I
called that.
You did?
I called it.
Okay. So here's the thing. It caught me off guard. Because I was like, the camera gets put down, and then this camera slides to the ring. RKO out of nowhere. That was beautiful. The ref says, hey, Edge, you want to go? Another RKO. And he still asks him if he wants to go. So they get up, and they start brawling. And then they brawled it. This is what I wanted. Don't keep that crap in the ring. You got a whole empty performance center. Take advantage of it. You got
They took us on an adventure.
Exactly. So we go into the Performance Center gym, and I don't know if you saw it or not, but so Edge is like trying to choke, or trying to choke Edge with some gym equipment.
He tried to hang him.
He tried to Chris Benoit him. And you gotta understand something.
Hey, come on.
No, peep this, because look, a lot of people was thinking that when they see that, I was just like, yo, we just seen Dark Side of the Ring 2 weeks ago. It's very unhealthy and very PTSD that you're doing this spot right now. So he grabs one of the weights. Edge kicks into his face. Randy Orton falls down. Then he's in a seated position. Edge grabs like the little handlebars on top and does like a seated splash right on Randy Orton's chest. So as we get past the gym, as he tries to slide equipment into him, we go down this hallway, and
that's what I'm saying though. Like I've never seen a fight in a gym.
I agree.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it never happened. I'm just saying I've never seen it. And I'm saying like, yo, use some gym equipment, and they did.
Yeah. They go to the hallway. They first of all, it's this hallway that actually leads to the ringside area of wherever the Performance Center is at. So he knocks Edge down once again. Try to go for the count. Edge gets back up again, and then they fight going back into the back again. And then now they're in the office area where they do all their meetings and stuff like that. And it's this big, long metal table. So Edge knocks Randy Orton into the metal table, and he sees that there are these steel grates up on the ceiling. So he goes up on there, swings up on it, kind of like Spider-Man, and then just drops the elbow down on Randy Orton on the table. I thought that was a cool spot. They go back and forth in the hallway and bounce each other off different pay-per-view signs till they get to the back loading dock area. And there is this ladder leaned up on this little balcony of storage space. Randy Orton's on his table. Edge climbs up the ladder. It's about 10 feet. And Edge, it wasn't as high as Kevin Owens did yesterday, but it was about 10 feet. Edge dives off and gives the elbow to Randy Orton through the table. And I'm like, oh. But,
I thought he was going to miss. I thought he was going to miss.
Oh, my God. If he had missed, I thought that probably would have been the end of it. But they both get back to their feet. And I'm like, okay. And so then they get over to the parking lot area where they're on this 4x4. Randy Orton does a signature DDT off the top of the truck to the back of the truck. And as the referee counts, Edge gets back up. And then Edge climbs to the top of this semi-truck. As Orton climbs to the semi-truck, he goes and Edge is down. He wants to give Edge old school Randy Orton punt kick. He goes for the punt kick. Edge comes out of nowhere and hits him with a spear. Randy gets up. Randy hits Edge with an RKO. Edge gets back up. So Randy's like, look, man, I'm tired of all this. He gets off the truck, comes down, comes past this huge ladder. I was like, this is Jeff. He's using that ladder. But since it's not, since it's not, Randy like, I'm not climbing that. He gets 2 chairs, climbs back up on the semi, and says, I'm going to give him the chair toe. Hits him in the back. And as he's about to lay Edge down, Edge jumps up and gets him in that chokehold Edge did to MVP a couple weeks ago. Randy Orton passes out on the steel chair. I was like, I know where this is going. So as he does that, Edge says, stop the fucking count. He says that, they bleep it out, but that's what he says. And then he has a chair. He's overwhelmed with emotion. He's crying. Him and Randy Orton are close. Edge is laying there. And then Edge gives Randy Orton a concerto. Randy Orton cannot answer the 10 count. Edge wins the last man standing match.
Mm-hmm.
I have one gripe with this match.
Lay it on me.
It was too long.
Yep.
It was awesome. I didn't have a problem because it was like this. This is what I expected from a Randy Orton Edge last man standing match. I'm not expecting, Jeff Hardy level last man standing. I'm not expecting Mick Foley level last man standing. You gotta say Edge is 46 years old. He just can't. This is his first match back in 9 years at a WrestleMania without a crowd, so the adrenaline ain't pumping like that. Once again, Randy Orton is almost 40 years old. These two guys are older guys. These are more storytellers and methodical wrestlers. So I wasn't expecting a big high spot last man standing match. I just want to tell a story. However, the only gripe I have with this matchup is that it was too long. It was 35 minutes long. I was like,
I'm with you.
You could have shaved off 15 minutes, and I think the match would have been perfect. But here's what gets me is that this was a taped match that went through post-production, and y'all sat there, looked through this whole match, and said, "Wait a minute, this is too." Y'all know nobody said this is a little bit too long. Because it got to the point, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, when does it end? Because I
was watching. Now, like I said, this is still the best last man standing, but I was watching it like, we got other matches. Like, we probably should end it soon.
Exactly. I'm like,
I still like the storytelling and all that, but I do agree it was a little lengthy.
It very lengthy. I was like, look, I don't mind the main event matches or top star matches should be they should give given time. But if you got so many matches on the card, especially when you got stuff to get at, I'm like 35 minutes. I'm like, you really could shade out that 15 minutes, and you could have divided up to a certain amount of matches. But I thought the last man standing match was pretty good. I mean, Edge gets the win here. I do think it was a little bit long, and there were, and another negative I had. The commentary sucked.
Oh yeah.
During this match, I was like, "Are y'all at a wake? You know, are we at a memorial service? Is it a funeral? Why are y'all so quiet? Like when Edge, look, it's bad enough we ain't got the crowd, okay? But when Edge is giving Randy Orton a concerto, when Orton's trying to go for the punt kick, when Edge dives off and gives him an elbow, when all these spots are being taken, if we don't have the crowd, because look. Even if the crowd was there, we went backstage. Guess what? The crowd would have been muffled anyway because we're backstage. So right. It's the commentary. It's the commentator's job to sell the match. And I'm listening like Byron Saxton and Todd Grisham did a terrible job. They missed all the high spots to the point like if I'm looking down right and I'm like, oh snap! If JR's on there or even if Taz is on there or old commentators and then they scream and holler like Jerry King Lawler, I'm like, what I miss? Or what just happened? Or they make the move seem more exciting than it does. It's like they never asked no questions. I just thought that the commentary on this matchup was just terrible. And I honestly, people ain't gonna like this, but for the commentators that we had at the building that night, I would have took Michael Cole and JBL over Corey Graves.
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, not Corey Graves. I'll take Corey Graves over everybody, but I'm saying, but
Byron Saxton.
Yeah, Byron Saxton and Todd Grisham. I would have took that. At least they would have sold the big spots that Edge is doing. So with them not saying crap and the match being long, it was like, oh. Come on, man! Like y'all, Edge deserves better than this. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. Commentary, yeah, God, they were terrible.
And it was like for this match,
match-wise, it was still the best one last man standing that I've seen.
Hey, look, I agree. I will recommend some other last man standing matches for you to check out, though.
All right.
Yeah, but I'll do that after we do the review. So moving on now. I was like, okay, so now we need the buffer. Okay, the buffer is the Raw Tag Team Championships, which is the Street Profits taking on the team of Angel Garza and Austin Theory. The match was basically is what it is. Everybody got they got their crap in. They Montez at the dive to the outside, and they actually caught him this time. Angel Garza does a dive to the outside as well. And since it's WrestleMania, I'm glad, he's getting his moment to shine. They throw the Street Profits back in there. Angel Dawkins he comes in, get the hot tag. He gives a bad kind of pounce to Angel Garza in the corner. But Austin Theory gives him that EC3 finishing move. I don't know what it's called. But then Montez hits the frog splash on his back. Then Dawkins goes over and covers him. And then the Street Profits retain the championships. That wasn't even the highlight of this match. The highlight was Selena Vega comes in there and they start beating down the Street Profits, and Selena Vega gives a super kick to Montez. Oh, you don't touch no black woman's husband. You know what I'm saying?
Baby.
Yeah. You don't touch no. So here come Bianca Belair. She come out. She speared the crap out of Vega, and then she give her the KOD right in the middle of the ring. And I'm just like, she twirling the hair, and Montez all like, oh, baby girl.
The way Montez Ford was acting, I'm going to do the same thing at my wedding.
Exactly. I'm
going to slide right in on my wedding.
Yeah, slide right on in there. So they had a pose with Bianca Belair and the Street Profits at the end, holding her up. Yo, I'm telling you right now, screw Dawkins. Bianca Belair and Montez Ford going to be the next hot heel couple. Watch.
I'm here for that.
They're going to be the better version of Miz and Maurice. because they both got personality, they both got charisma, they both are athletic as all get out. So yes, definitely. Next matchup we have is for SmackDown Women's Championship Fatal 5-Way match. Bayley defends her championship against Sasha Banks, Tamina, Naomi, and Lacey Evans. Before the match even starts, my son tells me, because he's watching WrestleMania with me, because obviously we're on the house, and he's like, Daddy, who you think gonna win this match? I'm like, Sasha got this. My girl, Sasha getting her moment. Sasha winning this. He says, nah, I think it's Lacey Evans gonna win. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, he don't know nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? He don't know nothing about wrestling. These little kids out here giving me their prediction. That's mad cute. That's mad cute. Lacey Evans, like, stop it. Bruh, was I biting my nails this whole match.
Listen, I'm saying, look, when the match started, I'm sitting here like, you know what? Let me just write, because I forgot I had Lacey. I'm like, let me just write Lacey Evans -25 right now. Like, I'm going to just write it down right now. I forgot I had her.
Yeah.
So when I seen she was in the final spot, she just had to get rid of Bayley. I said, oh no, we might get this.
That don't scare the hell out of me. So, before we get all into that, we all try to jump Tamina first. Sasha and Bayley try to jump her. Tamina pushed them out the way. Then Naomi and Lacey Evans do it, and then Tamina pushes her out the way, looking kind of strong. So right now it's a team kind of thing of them attacking each other. Tamina is in here to look strong. Don't know why. I did like that in the middle of the match, they took out Lacey Evans and Bayley, and all in the ring was Sasha, Tamina, and Naomi, and they had a quick Team Bad reunion. Because here's the thing. I liked Team Bad back in the day. Now, Team Bad was in 2016, and obviously Tamina was a little bit better and smaller back then. But they had a whole Team Bad reunion, and they used to do the thing with the fist, like unity, like stuff like that. But I don't think they got enough time to really develop. But so we had a quick Team Bad reunion before Tamina super kicks Sasha, then Naomi goes and attacks. But they get Tamina down, and then they all give her the finishing move where Bayley hits the elbow drop, Sasha hits the frog splash off the middle rope. You cheating, Sasha. Lacey Evans hits the moonsault off the middle rope. You cheating too, Lacey. And then Naomi hits the split-legged moonsault. They all cover Tamina. Tamina's out. So after Tamina is out, we now got the best friends trying to team up against Naomi and Lacey Evans. They take Lacey Evans out. They double team the hell out of Naomi. Naomi, for about a good 3 minutes or 2 minutes, is taking them all out one by one. I thought they made her really look really strong. And then Bayley tries to come in. Naomi hits the kick. Sasha gets the rear view, and then she puts her in her submission. I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna make Sasha tap. But Sasha puts her in the bank statement. Naomi taps out. Naomi's eliminated. So now we're down to 3. So, of course, Sasha and Bayley are going to jump Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is in the corner. Bayley goes for a running knee and hits Sasha in the head, knocks her out. So Bayley's like, oh my God.
Knocked her the hell out, by the way.
Exactly. She's like, you made me beat up my best friend. So they're in the ring having an exchange. And Sasha comes back into the ring, and Sasha's just like, yo, what the hell? I always had your back. Why'd you do that? She said, look, I was an accident. Let's just deal with the task at hand. You can hear everything they're saying. There's no crowd. So she pushes Sasha out the way. Lacey goes and misses Bayley, knocks Bayley down, and gives Sasha the women's right. Sasha gets pinned. Sasha's eliminated. So now it's just Bayley and Lacey Evans. So they have a decent match. Lacey Evans does hit her spin around moonsault. We know that was going to be it, but no disqualification. Sasha comes back in, gives a backstabber to Lacey Evans, and then Bayley hits that. It's supposed to be like the overdrive to Lacey Evans and beats Lacey Evans. And Sasha grabs the championship and gives it to her. That's the plant right there in the storyline. Now, here's the case. AEW was smart. AEW recorded about 2-3 months worth of content already.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see AEW on Wednesday, at least up until I'm going to say June, maybe July. So that was smart on them. WWE didn't do that. So, but for some reason, there has been reports of them trying to record Raw and SmackDowns at a secret location. Vince is going to try to get around this any way he can. He is, because here's the thing: they only recorded shows up into for this week coming back to WrestleMania, and that's it. That's it for WWE. So we don't know what necessarily is going to happen, but they're still promoting Money in the Bank on May 10th. So
they are, and I thought they postponed it. I remember seeing an article saying they postponed it.
Is that? But see, we don't know. But right now, WrestleMania, they still been promoting Money in the Bank. I don't know if they're going to try to do another empty arena pay-per-view, because whether we flatten the curve by then or not, which we probably won't, nope, you're still not going to get a 20, 30, 40,000 crowd audience in May. It's too soon. So, right now, it's just like, okay. I mean, look, I'm positive too, but I'm just saying, but even still, as human nature, if they say, fine, this thing is, we flattened the curve, we're not getting no more people in the hospital, the disease is still out there. I don't want to be around 30,000 people. I'd rather be around my friends.
Right.
But I ain't going to be around 30,000 nasty ass wrestling fans. Look, come on, we all wrestling fans. We know wrestling fans, all right? I'm not being around that environment. People are going to be hesitant. So, with that being said, it's like, wonder what they're going to do, because peep this, each member of the Four Horsewomen got a belt, but Sasha do. So
hold on.
Charlotte got NXT.
Yeah, right.
Bayley got Bayley got SmackDown, and
Becky got
Raw. Wouldn't it be interesting if Sasha wins Money in the Bank?
Yo,
I'm just saying.
You're right.
Now you give Sasha the Money in the Bank, and now each one of them horsewomen got they can look over their shoulder to see which title Sasha gonna try to come after. I think it makes a good storyline.
They all had a WrestleMania moment too.
Exactly. But so that was the match. I thought this was the second best women's match behind Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. Because I still think that Becky and Shayna was the worst women's match on the card. Alright, so now it's the time everybody's been listening to this podcast for. So we went about the 30 minutes of Edge and Randy Orton's left. So now it's time to get into the Firefly Funhouse. And joining us just now is not Deion Sanders for prime time.
What's going on, y'all? It's me, the PRIME.
So next up is the Firefly Funhouse, John Cena versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt. Can I tell you, I called it. And I'm going to tell you why I called it. Remember back on the podcast, I think it was episode 130, 135, 134, I said, what would be awesome is that if John Cena start out in the ring, but then he's like, no, he got to go to the Firefly Funhouse to go through that door to get to wherever they're going. That's exactly what happened in this match. John Cena comes out for a regular match. He's coming out to the ring and he says, and you know how Cena always looks into the camera and says, you know what I'm saying, hey, welcome to WrestleMania. And it gets distorted, and then you hear Vince going through all this montage like, welcome to WrestleMania. And then we get Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse. And then he's calling for Cena to come on. So he goes through the door, and Cena appears in the Firefly Funhouse segment. And he sees Ramblin' Rabbit. He said, he went through that door, dude. He said, but be careful out there. And I'm like, let's do this. So he opens the door, and Prime, let the mind fuck begin. So he opens the door. It's the Vince McMahon double puppet. And he's talking. He says, you know what I need from you, Cena? I need ruthless aggression. And then you get a cut, like a distorted cut of Kurt Angle's promo from 2002.
But Bray Wyatt's doing it.
He's doing the promo. He's in the ring. And he's doing it line for line because it jumps back and forth from Kurt Angle's promo saying, "I challenge anybody out there in the back," and he says to challenge who can beat Bray Wyatt. And guess who comes out? 2002 John Cena with the SmackDown fist.
Oh, see, I knew that was gonna happen. Come out. Okay.
So he comes out and he's like, "What's going on?" And he's still John Cena now. But he got the tights on. The SmackDown fist is behind him. He gets into the ring.
Does he have the hair?
Yeah,
he still has
his
hair
too.
Well,
yeah.
he still got the dad hair, but he still got the body and everything. So but it's like he's under Bray's control, but he's trying to fight it. So Bray was just like, "So is this what you used to look like?" And then so all he was able to say is ruthless aggression and do the slap. So Bray keeps ducking
Bray
it,
kept dodging it,
and talking shit. He's like, "I can see why you was almost fired this time." And Cena's trying to fight, but all he can say is ruthless aggression and go for the slap. And Bray keep ducking the slap. So no, it's not done yet. So as Cena is trying to find a way out of what's going on, we transfer back to the 80s with the Mega Powers promo. So you got
Hogan somehow, didn't
you got Bray in these American because it shows stuff like WrestleMania 2 and Hogan and stuff like that, and they got Bray in the American flag pants, and it has the Fiend saying "You can't hurt it" with these muscles going on the t-shirt. I want that shirt now. So then Cena comes to the back, and then he's acting kind of like a mixture of, Hogan and Macho Man, like the Mega Powers, and he has these two dumbbells that he is just burning out on these dumbbells. And then the message,
spazzing on them dumbbells.
he's spazzing on them dumbbells, and I'm sitting there, everybody's like, "What's going on?" And he sits there, and he can't hit Bray. Bray hits him, takes his head, and tosses him back to the SmackDown arena with the fist, but he's the Doctor of Thugonomics right now.
Hold on. Where is this the part where the Vince doll goes, it's such good shit?
No, we not at the such good shit part. Yeah, that happens, Prop. That happens. So John Cena's out, and now he's back to the Doctor Thugonomics. And he comes in there, and all Cena can do now is talking rhymes, like he's in 2003. So he's giving Bray Wyatt all the bad one-liners that Cena used to do back in the day. And back when he said like the D's nuts, he pulled out the bag of nuts and stuff. And he came Husky Harris, and he's like, "You know what, Cena? You hurt the feelings. You're nothing but a big bully. You got everything. You step on anybody just to get your fame, and now you have your fame." And he said, "I'll give you a chance." But Cena says, "No, I ain't taking that chance." So Cena, it's like, "You trying to step up in the doctor's house?" So Bray Wyatt appears behind him as Cena tries to go clothesline him. He has the Doctor Thugonomics chain around him and hits him in the head, knocks Cena out. And then, as Cena's knocked out, we get a transition to cult leader Bray Wyatt from 2014. And he's sitting there rocking
with the
Hawaiian shirt on, sitting there rocking in a chair, talking about WrestleMania 30. He said, "I had the whole crowd seeing it." And he showed the clips of him saying, "He got the whole world." And everybody, she said, "They was all with me, Cena. And you took that all away from me, but I'm going to give you a chance." So they recreate the spot. Remember when Cena was Wyatt gives Cena the chair and says, "Join me," back in 2014? And he says, "I'll give you a shot to do it again, Cena." As he beats up Cena and is doing the little walk with him and everything. And by the way, Cena got the actual clothes on from there. He gives Cena the chair. Cena once again doesn't listen, swings at Wyatt. Wyatt disappears. And then that's when the Mr. McMahon puppet and Mercy the Buzzer, it has their own commentary table. It's a Firefly Funhouse, and McMahon's like, "It's such good shit." They didn't even blink it out or nothing.
They ain't bleep it out or nothing.
And then we get transition to Eric Bischoff, but Bray Wyatt is out there with the Eric Bischoff leather jacket and the NWO Wolfpack shirt on, recreate another Eric Bischoff promo like, "I want to bring out one of the greatest And then he brings out John Cena in the NWO logo. That's when Vince is such a good
with the filter and all
with
that.
the filter and everything, with the WCW Nitro, Titantron, and all that. They own all that stuff, so they might as well bring it out, right? So they got that. That's when the McMahon puppet said it's such good shit of Cena being in the NWO. And he comes there, join the NWO, but then Cena somehow breaks the curse and starts beating up on Bray Wyatt in the NWO shirt. He's beating him down, like just pummeling him, and then all he sees, he's back in his regular gear, like today's gear, and it's Huskus the pig that he's beating up. And then, like a horror movie, the Fiend comes up from behind him, and the Fiend starts attacking.
Destroys him.
He destroyed the shit out of John Cena. And then Bray Wyatt is sitting there saying, "This is how it should have been 6 years ago." So the Fiend, and then as he's holding his sister Abigail, we get a whole recreation. We hear Cena's promo. He said last week on SmackDown about, who Bray was and, why he going to defeat Bray again, and Bray's not nothing. He puts him in Sister Abigail, puts him in the Manimal Claw. Then Bray Wyatt does the count as referee as the Fiend is holding him in the Manimal Claw and beats John Cena. And then John Cena's body just disappears. And the Fiend is left standing there, and then you hear that evil laugh. And that was the Firefly Funhouse.
That was the funniest part. Hold on. We ain't done. The funniest part is Titus O'Neil.
At the end, he was just like,
I got nothing to say.
I don't know what I just saw. And it just goes to black. Because Titus O'Neil took...
Yeah. We definitely skipped. I mean, it doesn't matter, but we did skip Gronkowski winning.
Oh, that's right.
Title.
Yeah, quick note. Gronkowski wins the 24/7 championship by jumping off the balcony on Mojo and all these other jobbers. He wins the championship. So Titus decides, I'm going to take over as the new host. Fine. Hoorah. So, and that was the Firefly Funhouse. We are not doing it justice explaining it to you like this. It's one of the things that you have to go see it for yourself. But now I understand why we didn't get multiple Undertakers and stuff like that, because they were saving all the character switches for this. And I think
American Badass, that was cool, man.
It was
like
cool.
Bar fight.
Yeah, I'm saying, people was asking why they didn't bring up no classic Undertaker, why there was no Kane, and I'm like, I can see it now. Let that be what it was. That was good for what it was. And this, look, I'm telling you right now, if y'all don't like the broken Matt Hardy stuff, if y'all don't want your mind fucked, this is not for you. I already had people sitting there saying they hated this. I'm like, that's not for you. Me personally, I love the shit out this crap.
Loved it.
This show was so crazy, because at first I was a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to you. When it first was over, I was like, I thought they was gonna go like after the Fiend came up, he was gonna teleport them to like the House of Horrors that Cena and Randy Orton was in, that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt was in back at Payback, and he was gonna fight him all throughout that house like that and beat him like that. However, after sitting on it and thinking about it before I got to the pocket, I was like, you know what? One, that would have been unnecessarily long. That would have been, then we would have gone to Edge Randy Orton territory, and to the point like you don't need to be redundant. But the whole thing of it was all about a story. It was all about squashing John Cena and take the momentum like he did Bray Wyatt. And once again, it's Cena. Cena been doing movies. I don't know if Cena's in good wrestling shape anyway to have that kind of matchup. But this was a complete.
It's Cena. I think he is.
Yeah, you could be right, but it was.
He's pretty healthy.
It was a complete mindfuck that I never knew that they would go with. Once again, I don't know if Bray could twist the Vince McMahon's arm, because Vince, like, you gotta do something. Because I'm like, the Vince puppet saying it's such good shit, bruh. I never thought they would have used that, because Dean Ambrose was the one who said that on the podcast.
Yeah, but Vince does actually say that though. So I mean,
yeah,
I'm assuming somebody told him that would be a good idea. He made fun of himself, I guess. So they put that in there. Yeah,
but having old Bray Wyatt, having Mr. Rogers Bray, having Thugonomics Cena, having Class of 2002 Cena, seeing the SmackDown Fist again.
The SmackDown Fist, we got the word life.
Exactly. seeing the whole Hogan Saturday Night's Main Event promo from back in the day with those Saturday Night's Main Event clip in the bars in the back and everything like that with the music.
That was my favorite part. No, that was one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. Because Cena was real. That promo Cena gave, like, I knew it was bullshit, but it was like, this is a good ass promo he's giving. Like,
exactly, he's being Hulk Hogan, like, which that's what that character started getting. Like, and once again, this is one of the things. Also, if you know the whole story of, like, if the whole career of John Cena and how he came up and got to where he's at now, all this stuff makes sense.
Yeah, and they show flashback, like, pictures of Cena as a kid and all that.
Exactly, and it's just like, I liked it that whatever era we were in, because see, the thing is, he maxed out, like, the big steroidy guys like Hogan and Macho Man. Because at first I was like, man, he's pumping the iron hard, but the purpose of it was he overdid it and he couldn't use his arms to swing at Bray Wyatt. See, I got to mention that because he was burned out. He was just like, I could. Every time it was just like, I liked the way where Cena was trying so hard to hit Wyatt, but all he could say was ruthless aggression and slap him, and he kept ducking the slap because he was stuck like that. I like how he was stuck just saying rhymes as the Dr. Dunganomics John Cena. You know what I'm saying? I like the idea of making fun of Eric Bischoff putting every top star in the NWO like it was supposed, like that was cool, and it wasn't. That the whole thing of, you know, Vince saying that's good shit. I was like, it was a total mindfuck. And look,
listen, man, Bray Wyatt is, God, he is going to go down as one of the greatest entertainers in this business.
He is.
There's no way he doesn't.
And it was, and I, first of all, and it was, I told you yesterday, Primetime in Part 1, you can't beat WWE in production. You can't. They have the money, they have the resources, they have all this stuff. And when this shows that when they get off their high horse and stop being so, you know, fucking petty, stuff like that, then yeah. The only, like I said, the only gripe I have with this, and it's not really a gripe, but the only thing about it is that it bothered me was I thought that they were going to go into like a haunted house type thing, and the Fiend was going to be Cena there. It didn't have to be a long kind of encounter, but I thought it was going to be, you know, a little bit more spooky stuff like that. But the Fiend just squashing Cena right there in the ring and having Mr. Rogers Bray be the referee, I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm taking it. And that was it. And like Titus said, I was speechless. I don't know what I just watched. And it's just like, man, it wouldn't work any other way. Can you imagine? See, look, we all talk about the crowd. Like the intro said, Faith has a ugly way, you know, has a weird way of, you know, entertaining us or showing us something different. And look, Fate brought us here. We are not in control of what's happening. So we got this. Can you imagine now seeing The Fiend versus John Cena in a regular one-on-one match? I don't want that no more. I didn't want that in the first place, but I'm just saying. But now I'm like, I don't want that. He beat Cena at his game. Somebody who had, people said, got the golden shovel and all that stuff like that. He pushed him to the far edge, but guess what? Cena got murked and embarrassed this whole thing, and that was the whole point. So, Prime, after what we said, where's your mind at?
It sounds like a crazy match. It sounds more like a final deletion type.
It wasn't really a match. We were just watching, like we were watching a show. Like
but however, but like I said, there was a pinfall at the end, so the Fiend did win.
Oh yeah.
So, like I said, it's just like final deletion, tag team apocalypto. You know, ultimate deletion. It's like all that. Me personally, this was better than the Bray Wyatt Matt Hardy ultimate deletion.
Well, yeah, because they learned their lesson.
Yeah, and I'm like, because I will put what they both did there with the Boneyard match and this match, because like I said, it was a complete mindfuck, and it worked because it was John Cena, and they were going through the history of John Cena. Unless the Fiend challenges the Undertaker, because first of all, I doubt the Undertaker's going to do this. I doubt the Undertaker will be like, you know what, man, let my old ass put on the purple gloves and everything, and then act like the old Undertaker of old and stuff like that. No, I think Cena was just like.
I don't think he'll put on the purple gloves. I think he'll just start from
the gray
Minister of Darkness.
Oh yeah, probably would. But I'm saying, Cena got full cooperation, and Cena was like, I don't mind going out there and straight embarrassing myself, or straight going out there and making Bray. This made Bray look good. So,
I thought the Fiend was dead, Mr. A&E. I thought he died after losing to Goldberg.
Well, I didn't say die, but he definitely took a step back. But this one...
No. A lot of people said he died.
Oh, yeah, well, no. Oh, I'm about to say...
So.
No, man, I mean, because, see, now, I'm like, well, the Fiend is the king of the mind games, and you ain't gonna beat him on his home turf. So that right there, yeah.
Y'all think that could be his new signature match?
It should be, but it only needs to be that.
But only when he fight a legend or something, so he can put on his wall.
Exactly, yeah. It needs to be something where he fights like a legend, or he fights somebody that got a very checkered history. It can't be like, hey, I'm going to go up, let's say, I'm going to go up against Drew McIntyre in a Firefly Funhouse match. It wouldn't make sense.
So like Randy Orton or like Edge maybe, or like
I would say Edge, Randy Orton, Mick Foley, Undertaker, like those are people that it works with. Maybe even AJ Styles if they don't mind bringing up TNA stuff.
I don't know if they're gonna bring up TNA.
Exactly, I can say AJ can go back in the old tights. AJ can do like the Fortune stuff. You know, AJ can do that whole dark 2014 I don't talk era. You know, see, there's stuff AJ can do, but I'm just saying. But I doubt they're gonna go do that whole TNA stuff. But it needs to be something. It needs to be. I would say it needs to be like a legend of some sort that it'll benefit from. Or like I said, even when him and Seth Rollins had the feud before they killed it with the Hell in a Cell, it could have been Seth Rollins because I think him burning down the Firefly Funhouse was too quick. He did it too quick. You know, so I was like, if you had built it up a little bit, you could have went through different eras of Seth Rollins as well. But that's either here or there. We do got to finish out and go into the main event, which is for the Universal Championship. That is Brock Lesnar taking on Drew McIntyre. So, look, we all know what this match was for. This match was to basically let Drew get his moment. Drew starts off with a Claymore kick. Brock kicks out. Then Brock hits an F5, and then Drew kicks out. And Drew kicks out of 2 more F5s, but then he hits Brock with 3 more Claymore kicks and wins the championship. That was the match. Everybody that complains about Goldberg, everybody that complained about the 2 moves, Brock only took him to Suplex City like twice. He only gave about like 2 German suplexes, maybe 3, but it was an F5. It wasn't like a big hoss brawl match, and Drew McIntyre didn't get that much offense. First of all, reports already said Brock Lesnar was pissed off being there in the first place, and Brock Lesnar already, even if Heyman didn't look interested in it, and then Brock was just like, I want to get my match done. You're endangering the wrestlers here, getting them sick. He cursed Vince out, which you probably will see on WWE next year.
I would say another 24 him throwing the belt.
Exactly.
He didn't even got it. Just him attacking Vince.
Exactly. So we probably will see that on the 24 next year because they had some behind the scenes photos and stuff like that. So, but yeah. So that was the match. Drew McIntyre is the champion. He looks in the camera. He looks hurt, but happy at the same time because he looks in the camera just like, thank you so much, and goes and celebrates with the championship. But Drew knows because they had the Chronicle on WWE Network, and it was just like Drew McIntyre was just like, it sucks that we're in a situation and he can't have a crowd moment. He can't have the fireworks and point at the sign. He can't have that WrestleMania moment. He said it out his mouth. He want that Kofi Mania moment because he feels as though him and Kofi was like kind of like similar.
Yeah, I can believe that. Came
from nothing, came from rookies, and then had terrible gimmicks at start. They went from nowhere, and all of a sudden they plateaued and they reinvented themselves. Kofi with the New Day and him going to TNA, so like that, and they came back. They found themselves in the title picture by fate, and then bam. Kofi got that moment, and I feel bad for Drew, but I'm just saying, but that's what it was. So Drew McIntyre is your new WWE champion. Q, how'd you like the match?
Well, for for one, give me my 100 points.
Yeah, we tossed around a lot of hundreds.
Yep, you sure did.
Yeah, right. Sure enough did. But nah, man. It was a pretty simple match. It literally was the same as yesterday's main title match. Four finishers from each wrestler. I don't know. This match definitely could have benefited a crowd because that first Claymore kick would have shook the building.
It would have. It came out. It was like Claymore out of nowhere.
Yeah.
After it was squash him.
So yeah, right. But nah, it was a solid match.
Yeah, it was alright for what it was. I mean, it was only like 4 minutes, if that. So it wasn't a big thing. So I was like, and it was kind of hard because your mind was still trying to wrap around the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah,
so,
right.
But that's how it ended. But yeah, so that's what it was, and that's WrestleMania. So I want to get your grade of WrestleMania as a whole, part 1 and part 2. How about this? How about this? Give me a grade for part 2. I did give a grade for part 1. Give me a grade for part 2.
All right. Well, for part 2, we doing letter grades, right?
Yeah.
Or we just doing pass and fail?
No, a letter grade if you can.
I'm gonna give it I give it an A minus.
A minus.
Yeah, I mean the filler match. What was it? Black and
Bobby.
And Bobby. That was it was a waste of time. But I liked the other matches. I thought the other matches were fine. It was day one. I wasn't really feeling, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But even day one, like if day one gets like a C, or like it gets like a low B, high C from me.
You weren't feeling day one?
Bad.
What'd you say, Prime?
You wasn't feeling day one-ish?
What happened? Oh no, yo, the way that match ended, I was cracking up. But anyway,
yeah.
Nah, it was a good show for me.
So I'm gonna give part 2 a B because Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, great opener. The SmackDown Women's title match was better than I thought it was going to be. Bray Cena mind fucked the hell out of me, and Edge and Randy Orton was good, but it was too long. So,
well, I mean, it's an Edge match. I mean,
bro, that thing was 35 minutes long.
It's an Edge match. It's like Triple H being in the last match standing match. That's gonna be like 45 minutes.
Like, bro, it didn't need to be that long. You could have took 15 minutes. It was Edge and Orton match. I'm just like, my God.
I mean, but it's not like they spent the whole 35 in the ring and just they took us around. They gave, this was MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
They took us all around the place.
Yeah, they was all over.
We're gonna be seeing the same backstage area in a week or so. With
Gargano. They took us in the gym. They ran a fade in the gym.
Yeah.
Took it to the top of the truck. Like, yo, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. It was long, but I'm not mad at it.
I got you. Like I said, I get your opinion on that one. I'm just overall, I'm going to give for the circumstances that they were under and what they did for the recorded WrestleMania. Obviously, it was very different, but from beginning to end, from everything from America the Beautiful to the final credits, I'm going to give this WrestleMania a B. I'm doing it. I'm giving it a B. People may not agree with me.
I give it a B.
Overall, I'm giving it a B because part 1, like I said, some of the matches were just boring and some did benefit from the crowd. But there was matches on there that I liked from part 1. Part 2, and I enjoyed most of part 2. Like I said, I agree. I did like Edge and Orton, but it was too long. I know they went everywhere, and I got told you earlier the commentary did not help that match at all. So, you know what I'm saying, that on the spell. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, I did get a brutal, different. Each match brought something different to it, and even the Otis getting his moment, Bianca Belair showing up with the Street Profits, and Drew win the championship, the Firefly Funhouse, the Boneyard match, the ladder match. Like it was like every match had its own identity because they know you don't want to be wrestling in the ring that long.
Right.
Exactly. So, with nobody there. But Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, that and Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins.
I was just mad at the result with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I was just mad at the
Charlotte.
result.
The match was fine. It was just the result. I was expecting Lacey Evans to lose. It was just, I ain't expect her to make it to the finals. So it had me on my toes.
You know, she got to talk about her daughter.
Yo, bro, it's funny. Like I said, you wasn't here for the part when I said my son was like, at the beginning of the match, before it even started, he says, I'm going with Lacey Evans. And I got so scared when she made it to the finals. But yeah, so that was WrestleMania. I recommend, look, we in the house. You can go check it out. If y'all, of course, y'all want the crowd. Hopefully, next year when they go to Hollywood and they do WrestleMania Returns to Hollywood, they're going to go back and, do what they can. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, when we go back to big crowds, it's going to be a hurt piece because you're not getting Firefly Funhouses or Boneyard matches anymore.
You still can, depending on the fan reception. They could find a way to add something special in there.
I mean, but it's like Vince was forced to. Do you think, like I said, if we had a live crowd, AJ and Undertaker would have been a regular match, would have sucked. Cena and The Fiend would have been a regular match, it would have sucked. And then Edge and Randy Orton probably would have been last man standing match like Edge had with with like Chris Benoit. Yeah.
They wouldn't take us around the wave. It was a crowd for that.
The only last man stand like the last man standing him and Voldemort had when he hit him in the head with a brick, that was the only highlight. But I'm just like, usually last man standing matches sometimes are good, sometimes they're not good, depending on who's in the match. You know what I'm saying? So, but guys, that was our WrestleMania review. Post out the comments down below. How'd you guys like part 2 of this event? Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed our review. And make sure you hit the subscribe button for more WWE content. We still got one more week of WWE tapings. And after that, we're going to see what happens when it comes to WWE. AEW recorded stuff leading all the way until probably June or July. So they good for a minute. So
it's also the end of the draft.
It's also the end of the draft, so make sure you check out next week's podcast to see who won the draft. Like I said, I am going to be honest. I got to go calculate points because after the whole pandemic started, I ain't calculated nothing. So
I went back yesterday. I realized I wasn't even that far back. I was only off. I only missed like 2 weeks, so I was able to knock all that out easy. And NXT wasn't really using my people like that until like last Wednesday. So
yeah, well, I already know Shayna and Rhea lost me big time, but so that's either here.
I'm gonna say I think he won because all my people lost yesterday.
I think Lacey getting that pile up pin and Sasha Banks helped me. Well, the Sasha don't count because I lost that. But I think that pile up pin might have got it for me. I ain't gonna hold you.
So yeah, so we're gonna have to see. So alright, so once again, like, subscribe, and share. And once again, this is NC, the place to be. Chillin' Mustaine, the man, the myth, the reality. Q-Flow for the rookie.
Alright, take it easy, everybody. It's been real.
Yep, and not Deion Sanders for prime time.
Alright, everybody.
Alright, and the Nerd Coalition is out.